Islam is the world's fastest growing religion. The number of pilgrims increases all the time. Saudi Arabia does its best to manage the visiting crowds.
Het is echt een gigantische luchthaven. En dat is ook logisch, want ja, die hele bedevaart, dat is echt een ontzettend grote industrie.
Pilgrims pour into Mecca every year, landing at a special airport. During the Hajj, the great annual pilgrimage, it's full to the brim. Planes land the rest of the year too, for the Umrah, the smaller pilgrimage that can be done any time of year. Most pilgrims save up for decades to come here. It's a high point in their lives.
How important is Umrah for you?
Very important. This is an integral part of our religion, of our faith. Hajj is a religious duty.
Duty, yeah. It's one of the five pillars.
If you can afford, then you must go for Hajj once in a life. And then when we go to Mecca, then we see the house of God, house of Allah.
Yeah.
And then we surround.
So God has given the power to Saudi Arabia, because that's
Not
why
the power, but I think it is a gift from God.
It's a gift from God, but it brings also a lot of money for Saudi Arabia. No?
This is a gift of God.
Yeah, it's a gift, yeah. And how will you travel now?
From here to Mecca by car.
You're not going with the bus?
Bus? Maybe.
Bus, yeah?
Maybe. By car.
By car.
The pilgrims are welcomed with a free copy of the Quran and guided towards the buses in a practiced manner. These Pakistani pilgrims can afford a rental car to go to Mecca, but rentals can't come to the airport.
What's the problem?
Our car is waiting outside.
Outside.
He is not allowed to enter this car in this premises.
Okay.
So the bus owner will not charge us if we give number of that car.
Okay.
Yes, it's okay now?
Baba, no problem. Now,
There's no problem.
Okay.
yeah.
They wait for someone to bring them outside. They are stuck at the airport for now. Samir takes me to what he calls the most beautiful spot in town.
So a horse or a mule or a camel can go up and
It is the old city palace where Abdulaziz used to have his study, the founder of modern-day Saudi Arabia. He had himself crowned king while holding the Quran, thus linking religion and politics.
Nou, ik denk niet dat ik op zijn stoel moet gaan zitten. Volgens mij wordt dat niet heel erg op prijs gesteld. Wauw, what a view.
Yes.
Wat een mooi uitzicht op de oude stad van Jeddah. So the pilgrim route was that way?
This way.
Which way?
That's it. See? Look.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, like this?
Yes. From there all the way there. The camels come to the house where the pilgrims stayed, and then they go to the gate of Mecca, which is in Jeddah, and then they registered the record, and they give him permit, and then they go towards Mecca.
So you're from Jeddah. All your life you saw pilgrims in Jeddah?
Yes,
huh?
yes.
And you
yes.
and your father and your grandfather
yes,
and
yes. And I did when I
ancestors.
was young. I did sell water to pilgrims next to the old airport.
Het gebed komt eigenlijk vanuit alle hoeken van Jeddah. Gigantische volume. En dat komt omdat er 37 moskeeën nu oproepen tot het gebed. Cardamom?
Cardamom, and we burn the coffee light.
It's a difficult time now in the world for Muslims. How will be the future for Muslims?
It is difficult for the whole world. It's not only Muslims.
But yeah, that's true. But we had a lot of troubles because of what happened in 9/11, but also Daesh, yeah?
They are not Muslims. They are criminals. They pretend to be Muslim. In the Islamic religion, if you kill one person, like you kill the whole world in execution.
Samir rejects the crimes committed in the name of Islam. He rejects all negative images created around his faith. I follow the route he showed me. This is also a personal journey for me. With my background, Mecca played a role in my life too.
Nou, zo eigenlijk een nog veel grotere hing bij mijn opa aan de muur. En als kind begreep ik niet wat dat kubusvormige gebouw was. Maar ik dacht, het moet iets belangrijks zijn. Want een tapijt die niet op de grond ligt, maar aan de muur hangt, dat moet heel belangrijk zijn. Dat kan niet anders. Alleen hij was nog veel groter. En pas jaren later begreep ik eigenlijk pas dat het de Kaäba was. Salam. Kam flus?
هذا
Hada?
هذا التسيني
Tisidi?
تركي.
One of the habits during a pilgrimage is to wear traditional clothes. An ihram consists of just two pieces of fabric held together with a belt. It's a symbol of simplicity. The idea is that all pilgrims are equal, whether you're a cleaner or a bank director.
Ja. هذا دي؟ Dat begint? De rechterarm moet volgens hem open blijven. Dus die moet je zien. Oké, like this, ja? تمام؟ كله تمام؟
كله تمام.
شكرا.
Our Pakistani pilgrims are allowed on the bus. They are glad to get away from the airport at last. Today I witness what it does to these people. A mix of tension about the journey and satisfaction that Mecca is getting closer.
Is it a special occasion? Is it for someone who is ill, or you want to pray for someone, or is it just
For everything.
everything?
The safety of your life, the safety of your relatives, the safety of your future, the safety of your human life. When we will go back, then we will be a refined person.
Well, I hope you will be a fine
Yes,
person.
we will. Yes.
But you were not a fine person until now?
No, we are, but it will be more refined, you can say. As I told you earlier, that it is just a renewal of commitment of man with God.
Going to Mecca is a sacrifice, for some pilgrims greater than for others. These men arranged a luxury car for their journey. The question is, will it ever get here?
Alaikum salam. Have a good trip. Nou, dit is dus de Umrah voor rijke mensen. Hè? Want de rest moet in een oude bus.
Many pilgrims go to Medina first. It is the second holy city in Islam. I want to do that too and get permission from the authorities. We are even allowed to film on strict conditions. A sign says Haram area, meaning non-Muslims are not allowed here.
Maakt ook niet uit waar je bent, hè. Het is elke stap die je zet in dit land, wordt er weer druk gebeld en opnames worden er gemaakt van je foto's aan één stuk door de hele tijd. Op die manier ook in die witte auto.
Sadly, in order to film in Medina, I have to go without one of the crew.
Nou, daar verderop ligt Al-Haram, een heilige plek voor moslims. Het is eigenlijk gewoon de stadskern van de stad Medina. Ja, als niet-moslim mag je gewoon niet in de stadskern komen. En ik moet op zoek naar een andere cameraman die wel moslim is. Nou ja, het is gewoon niet anders.
This is my first time in a strictly Muslim area. Medina is where the Prophet Muhammad lived and was buried.
Het is vrijdag. En vrijdag is een vrije dag in de islamitische wereld. Dus ze hebben 2 vrije dagen, vrijdag en zaterdag. Ja, dat lijkt eigenlijk op een zondag, rustdag. Nou ja, wat doe je als je een vrije dag hebt? Dan kom je bijvoorbeeld naar dit park met het gezin.
The remainders of the famous Hijaz railway line are here. It ran from Turkey to Medina, but is now closed. Hundreds of thousands of pilgrims came from the north by train.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm going to Istanbul.
Yeah, you go to Istanbul. Can I come with you? How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
You're on travel or Umrah or
Umrah.
yeah?
Judging by his entourage, this is a dignitary on a day trip. It turns out to be the Minister of Muslim Affairs from Singapore.
I come here to meet my counterpart from the Kingdom of Saudi to negotiate our annual Hajj quota and all the arrangements for the Hajj. The number of pilgrims in Singapore is quite small. Actually, based on the quota, we used to have only 680. Last year, alhamdulillah, with our negotiation to 800.
So there is a quota for every country?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have to work within that quota. But my problem now is that a lot more Singaporeans, because we're becoming more affluent, want to come to Hajj. So if you register now, the waiting time is 34 years.
34 years?
Yes.
Wow.
Literally.
So it also can make people sad who are waiting for a very long time for...
Exactly. So we always have a situation where we have someone who has never been there, he's an elderly, he wants to go, but you need someone to look after him. So he brings his son, the son goes to look after the father, then the son gets married, he wants to go with his wife, but he's considered a second timer while the wife is a first timer. So all these complications, you know, because we give priority to first timer and people who wants to fulfill it, because you know it's the 5th pillar of Islam.
Doing the Hajj is a rare opportunity. It is best to be on good terms with Saudi Arabia because they decide how many pilgrims they will admit.